hello YouTube, we are back at it again. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. Today, check out my stats. 1807. I am 1800, and not only that, I'm in the top 1% in the, not in the world, I don't know how to say that, but I'm in the top 1% of chess.com players. And so let's hop into a rapid game where I can explain to you everything you need to know about how to win a game of chess. And so I do understand that being in the top 1% in the world, there's a lot of people that just like create accounts and then never play or play like 2 games. So there's probably a huge amount of accounts that are like not real accounts, okay? So this dude is the exact same rating as me. We play e4. What will we get? A tense moment on the chessboard already. We e4, e5, we're playing the bishop's opening. Okay. Please bring the bishop out here so I can explain a lot of stuff to you. This is just an attacking line that you absolutely need to know. The best move is to scoot the king over. Will he know that? Probably not. And the most played, oh, okay. So we got to scoot back because all of a sudden this becomes an attack where he attacks our bishop and a discovery on our queen. I believe here I need to put my knight. We need to bring the knight to defend this because we don't want the knight hitting our queen where we have to scoot back. Also, the possibility of losing my light square bishop is in the cards. Is in the cards for sure. And so I want to solidify my center, give my bishop a little bit of breathing room. What if I just... Okay, this bishop is officially locked out. So what if I do jump forward? I mean, I guess he can just take with the pawn. So I think we're going to play it simple. Unfortunately, he decided to push the G pawn, and you're really hoping that they bring the queen out. So I don't even have an advantage anymore. It's just a completely even position. What am I supposed to play here? What am I supposed to play here? If I jump forward and he takes, then I take. I mean, he can defend it with this, and all of that happens. His bishop coming here is a slight annoyance, definitely for me. So if I do push this pawn, he has the idea of going for my light square bishop and developing his bishop with tempo. And if I move anywhere other than this, I basically get a bad position. So what am I supposed to do here? Am I really just supposed to push this pawn? That seems like such a weak move. But I think that it really serves a purpose in this because I want to get this, and I just don't want my queen being deflected away from the attack of this knight. I think that that's quite important for me. Because if we can get a position where he like castles, we jump forward. Is my immediate thought. This is my next immediate thought. I really want to bring the dark square bishop. This pin would be delicious. So I want to also push it 2 squares, but that's not going to work because he can just take with the pawn. So we're pushing it 1 square. And what are we going to get? He can jump forward, but I'm just going to trade that off. And if he takes here, I'm not super worried about that. This pin immediately seems scary. Yes, you get this, but what are you going to do about this pinned knight? And there's no way to bring this bishop back. You wish you could. You got to be real careful when you lock your bishops out of the pawn chain. So we will trade this off. I don't want to allow breathing room for the queen. So I think simple chess principles, pressure the pinned piece. You pressure the pinned piece. Is this going to get him out of it? I don't think so. I think just pressure the pinned piece is what we're going for now. And if he just lets me take, I'll take it with the bishop, and then we're attacking 2 high value pieces with my defended bishop on this square. And unfortunately, his knight, I don't think too many moves to actually aid in the defense of this pinned piece. And so that's what we're going for. Plain and simple. And like, yes, he ruins our pawn structure if he does decide to take. But I'm okay with that. I might even just take and castle this way. And like, I have an attack brewing, my boy. I'm sorry. This guy is from Indonesia. You get a lot of people from Indonesia on here. So he does take. Almost certainly. I mean, if I do this, then he moves, then I take, then he moves again. So I think that I do have to just take this. He can jump forward, and temporarily attack my queen. Okay. Now what is the most forcing? If I take with my queen, he's looking at this pawn right here. This guy is no longer pinned, so my move absolutely needs to be take the knight, is what we're doing here. If I take with the queen, I'm threatening this. I'm not sure if this is even scary. Like if I take and he jumps in, if I jump here, yes, this pawn is hanging, but I just have a huge attack. I just don't think that he could survive that. But what's better? Take with this. He has to do something with the bishop. I mean with the rook, so he probably plays like that. What's the correct move? They might even be interchangeable, and this is one of those positions where I'm spending an enormous amount of time on a move that doesn't essentially matter all that much. I think we're just going to take with the queen. This pawn is hanging, but so is the rook. So we get in, we're attacking the rook. He scoots over. We jump forward with the knight. Maybe I should have spent a tad bit more time calculating that. Okay. And I just have a very comfortable, very, very comfortable position. I can even throw away a pawn to trade off some stuff. I can also... I should probably castle, right? And castling this way so that my rook is looking at the king in the endgame definitely makes a lot of sense. So this is hanging. What if I push forward? And if he takes, then I get another piece joining the party. I can also scoot back and kind of counter this guy. So like scoot back, I'm threatening this checkmate. I think that's a pretty simple idea. I would like to castle, but I'm still in the attacking realm. Because now this fork is kind of something immediate he needs to deal with. And there's not a great, like you got to do something. You got to move a piece. I don't think he can just ignore that threat. And I've got 5 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm up a piece. If I lose this game on time, I will absolutely break my computer. Just completely just smash that thing and delete the video. That did not defend the fork. So we're going to hop on in. Hit him with that check. And we're going to grab this rook. Now he might resign. He might resign. We're going to go ahead and take that. Then this bishop attacking our f2 square is something I'm a little bit not worried, but I don't love it. And so scooting forward to prevent the knight from getting forward in any way would make sense. But immediately just challenging this. Like, what if he comes in? I think we're going to just do this. It ruins my pawn structure. His knight could jump in. And if I castle, then he gets a pawn. So maybe that wasn't the most accurate move, to be fair. Maybe I was supposed to just like push this pawn first. So he wants this check. Take, here, here. I mean, he takes, and then I take. And I think I'm quite happy with the position. I can also scoot the king forward, because castling doesn't work, because I like this guy defended. So what if I just bring my king forward? We're in an endgame. So there's really two things I can do here. Take, check, here, take, take, and then and then take. But I think bringing the king is just, why allow all of that? I'd rather just an equal trade than going down basically a bishop and a knight and a pawn for my rook. So I don't think that it made a lot of sense. And so if he takes here, we have to take with the pawn to maintain defense of this. So we are going to take like that. And then I see a beautiful square in my position. I don't see a reason not to push this. The knight only has one. Oh, well, that took away my beautiful square. Rook to the open file, just immediately attack this. These pawns are attacking so many squares. So this knight kind of is, I mean, I got a really ugly pawn structure, but they're doing a great job of a defense. I can also just bring this in. I'm now attacking this with the pretty simple idea of doubling up on that. So we will do that. He can defend, but I might find a way to wiggle this knight. A retreating move to reroute like this. Oof. He attacks this pawn. I can't defend it. Chess is difficult. Pretty simple mistake right there. I mean, if I just scoot over and he wins that pawn. Or what if I bring my knight? Oh, no. That is we got to be careful. So we scoot over here. I have to scoot back. So I think scooting to the middle of the board. Here. Retreat. I mean here. Scoot back again. I don't think I'm going to lose anything immediately, but I lose a pawn and get attacked, that's for sure. Only good square. Here. He can then attack. Not fun. Not fun. I should have definitely scooted the king forward and prevented all of that nonsense. That takes away. I can also scoot forward and attack this knight. And then he has to go back here. Let's just bring my knight. That took away the attacking square. Here. I'm still going to be good. Quite scary. Quite scary to make that move. You attack the rook, I take, you take. Got 2 minutes. Okay, we take the knight for free. And he just officially has blundered the game away. He was able, I mean, he's down a rook, so he was able to do okay, to be fair. But after that, it's over. It's over. There's just too many problems in the position right now. I can even come in like this. This pawn is hanging. I mean, his 2 pieces need to defend this pawn. If he cares about that pawn so much, doesn't matter what he does, he's going to lose. Doesn't matter what he does. It doesn't matter what he does. Doesn't matter what he does. So we just take that. If he decides to attack it, we infiltrate with check. I think we just take that as well. I mean, here. He wants to defend this. All he can really do is push it. I can't go back because of this fork. So I guess I go back over here. And I mean, I've got 2 minutes. I play a fair bit of bullets, so I think that I'll be capable of absolutely winning this. Does my face look weird? Should I turn off this light? How's that? Super dark? Okay, we'll keep it. We are attacked. We put the rook on a very active square in the position. That's the idea. One thing as I start filming these videos, I think my face is too bright. So he's attacking this, but we take this with check. And like, I don't know how bad I really care about this pawn. We can trade everything off as well. And I can just win that endgame. Don't see why we don't just defend the pawn. We attack your pawn. Bring the knight to the middle of the board. Push this pawn and attack this pawn. Check. And we got 2 attackers on this. He's attacking both of my stuff, but I don't think I'm super worried about it. We're going to take here. And I can push my pawn and defend this. I think the knight is happier over here. And we need to trade this rook. I've got 1 minute and 30 seconds. So we need to trade this rook or just simply push the passed pawn is kind of what we need to do here. So I am going to just get behind this pawn and start pushing it. Because I don't see an immediate way to win potentially here, and trade the rooks and get rid of the knight. And then I have a passed pawn. Let's try this idea. If he goes here, we can just trade the rooks. If he goes here, we can also trade the rooks and the knight. So I'm going to be giving up a minor piece to simplify this. Just check again. Why not? Push. Push. This is defended by the knight. We're going to push this again. This is the idea. We put the rook basically defending this. He wants to bring his king, so we're just going to take this pawn. We take the pawn. I mean, let's just give some checks. That was literally just a check. I wasn't actually trying to checkmate him, but you know what I mean? When you got 2 rooks and a knight and a bunch of pawns and your opponent has 2 pawns, it's pretty easy to figure out how to checkmate him. And so, was that a super accurate game? I'm not even sure with you. It felt really easy. Dude's, you know, he's not 1800 anymore, so sorry for that. And chess.com, you get 10 ELO for winning a game of chess. Chess.com is so harsh. The volatility is like you win a game and get 10 points, and then you lose a game and you lose 12 points. So it's like you got to select who you play. And so literally this, one thing you should know, when you're in a position such as this, you need to be careful about the moves that you make because you do not want to stalemate. And it can get complicated to see like what pawns are being attacked by like the not super powerful pieces. So like obviously the rooks, we know what the rooks are doing. But the knight can get hard, definitely in low time when you've got a minute, and then definitely the pawns are attacking squares as well, and you can stalemate your opponent. And so these pawns are both blockaded, so only the king can move. And so this move being a check was generally trying to get him to wiggle out of this position so I can find an easier to checkmate formation rather than like in the middle of the board like this, where it's kind of, this is protected by the, I guess it's not that complicated to be honest, whatever, but that's enough yapping. Let's go see what the computer says and see if I actually know how to play chess or if I just got lucky. My fellow chess people, I played a 100% accurate game. My one mistake I did on purpose in the end game. I am a little bit blown away at how well I knew the opening and just how well I executed it. Now, of course, a lot of those moves were pretty simple to make, but we're going to go through it with the computer and you're going to see I played the top engine line like the entire game. The one inaccuracy that I have in the beginning is not even an inaccuracy because nobody would ever play it in their life. So I have 3 inaccuracies, 1 mistake, 98% accurate, but really that 2% is taken up by 2 inaccuracies in the end game and 1 mistake. And all of those were in the end game where I was like had a +5 advantage. And so you don't have to play the best move. I was getting low on time, so I just wanted to trade off the pieces. Our opponent, 89% accurate, 1 blunder, 2 mistakes, 4 inaccuracies. Not too bad, but this really just stemmed from me knowing the opening better than our opponent, and it just got me a winning position, and I was able to execute it. Now, the only mistake that I made was in the end game right here, and I knew it was a mistake because I was generally going for something like this. Say the king comes forward. Instead of playing the best computer line and whatever, I know there's a mate in 3. You don't need to calculate all that. Check. Take, this pawn is a queen. That's what I was going for. So yes, it was a mistake, but from my standpoint, when you've got like 1 minute on the clock, if you can get rid of his last powerful piece and you still have one, like these pawns are doing absolutely nothing. The king is doing nothing. You cannot stop this pawn from promoting. And okay, let's fly to the beginning. I'll show you one other absolutely absurd computer line. So I'm going to also show you in this opening, You play this line. The queen comes out and you're applying pressure. The best move is to scoot over with the king, but nobody does that. What most people do is they come with the queen, you hit the queen. Obviously, they're going to hit you with this check because it looks so scary. You scoot over, and again, they have the chance of scooting over the queen, but they don't do it. They always like push this pawn. I think that's one of the most played. Then you attack the queen. The queen scoots back is generally what they do. Nobody is going to play like something like this or like this. And if they do, you just have a +4 advantage. I'm not going to go into every single line here, but nobody scoots the king over because then you can't castle. So this is definitely something I'm not going to go into in immense detail. Nobody scoots the king over. So if they have not studied this line, they bring the queen out, they push the pawn, whatever. So we get this. They push the pawn, we scoot back, they bring the knight, and then I knew here that now that my queen is developed to basically my knight's natural square, this knight jump where it attacks my queen, it also threatens this fork, is a little bit uncomfortable because you have to scoot the queen all the way back. So you bring the knight, you take away that idea, he pushes, I push, which is the best move, and I love how long I spent on this move. I can't believe it. It's actually the computer's best line. So if we take stock, I have played like the computer best line every single time other than what I'm about to show you right here. And this is absolutely absurd that I could go for this. We take, they take, we go for the pin, they get my knight. I then take here, they ignore that this is happening. I scoot up, they take this pawn, I scoot over, they take my bishop, I take the queen, they take the bishop, and I have a +1 advantage where I got rid of their queen in exchange for both of my bishops and 2 pawns. And then they've got these guys, and we have this position where I'm slightly winning, but I'm not going to play that, okay? So instead of pushing the pawn 2 squares and getting crazy, we push it 1 square. He can defend this, but he just didn't. And all of a sudden, like, yes, these guys see each other, but now I have applied pressure to the pinned piece. You haven't castled to bring the king closer. The knight can't defend in any useful way. The bishop is shut out by the pawns. What's he going to do? He trades. And of course, like, that didn't fix anything. Sometimes people do moves like this out of desperation. Like, taking here does not fix the situation over here. So, like, doing this, he's like, I need to make a move, and this move isn't terrible. Don't make moves like that. Like, if this is the problem, try and situate your pieces on better squares, you know, like maybe take this opportunity to jump forward or whatever. This didn't make any sense. Then I spent a good amount of time deciding which piece to take with here. And I want you guys, if somebody in the comments could explain this to me, because I literally have no idea. Right here it says 5.6. So I'm playing as white. It's my turn. It's a 5.6 advantage. But if I play the best computer line that it's recommending here and here, I take, and now it's a 4.5. Why? I played the best move. Like, is there a different move that I could have played? And if you try anything else, that's not even the best computer line. So why is it 5.3? Why is it 5.3? And then if I go back one move, it's 5.8. I literally don't understand. I have no idea what to think. Like, it says this is the best computer line, but after you play it, it goes down more than if you play the second best computer line. And even when you play the second best computer line, that's theoretically the best computer line, this still goes down slightly. So there's something that I don't understand. I just take it with a grain of salt, like, okay, they're both okay. I spent a long time thinking about this, what's better to take with? It was interchangeable. Long story short, it's interchangeable. Everything's winning. He moves the rook. I bring this guy forward. I scoop back, like, not the best move. The best move. We scoop back and we threaten this fork. We hit him with the fork. I should really look at this in the chess.com thing. And right here it's saying, okay, grab a pawn for free. Grabbing a pawn for free is better than grabbing a rook not for free. Okay? But whatever. We get rid of his powerful piece. So I'm a human, so I'm going to play a move like that. Then I can castle and get out of this. I scoot the king up. We take with the pawn to keep this safe. We push a pawn, get the knight out of here. Rook on the open file. Infiltrate. Double up this file right here, and he's just immobilized. Then this rerouting of the knight idea didn't make any sense. So this isn't a blunder because I'm still winning by so much. and he just hangs the knight. I mean, he just literally just hangs the knight. Okay? Then around here, we're trading stuff off. We jump back. The reason that when I jump back here, I can't go here because of this fork. Okay? So we go back over here. We scoot up. We grab the pawn with check. I could literally even play this, would be an idea, because I'm still going to win this endgame, but you don't want to give up 2 rooks for a rook. You can give up a rook and a knight for a rook, because you don't want to be left with only a knight in the endgame. If you're left with only a rook, cool, but only a knight with low time, it's not strong enough, okay? So we go for this pawn, we bring the knight, we hit him with this fork, and then around here it's suggesting some other ideas. I bring the knight back. This simple idea of putting my rook behind this pass pawn. So here we have somewhat deviated away from playing 100% accurate, and this is my 2%. If I got 98%, this is my 2% right here, because I'm supposed to be coming up with ideas of how to checkmate, which, yes, I could have found ways, but I'm in the mindset of like, let's just make a new queen and get rid of his last powerful piece. So right here, I make my only mistake of the game, like I explained earlier, and I'm really, really just going for somehow trading this knight and rook. So my real idea was this. Like, I mean, he's not going to play that because it's too weak. But if we played this, I take here, boom, 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 boom. That's what I was going for. Did he need to play that? No. So did this move make 100% sense? Not at all. There's mate in 1 right here. I should have seen that. We give the wrong check. King scoots up, push the pawn, push the pawn, push the pawn, and then plain and simple, this is an endgame. It's defended, you bring the other rook, okay? Because if he takes you, you make a queen. If he stays still, you take him, and then you get out of the way, and then you make a queen. It's not rocket science. Or they give up the rook for the pawn. You have 2 rooks. Take, take. We go over here. That was his like last asset, was like if he could somehow wiggle his queen in here and take this pawn, he had a pass pawn. So I took it, okay? Was it the best move? No. I'm supposed to just give this check. I'm supposed to give him a checkmate. But either way, we take this. And the one other thing, in an endgame like this, like I said in the video, just be careful. Every move should be a check. I didn't see that this was checkmate in 1. Didn't really care. I knew that I was going to get checkmate in a couple moves regardless. And so the idea of this was really just get the king like doing something other than where he's like surrounded by all these pieces, and it's hard to calculate like what squares are attacked by everything. You know, once you get a stalemate in a position like this, you learn. You learn real quick. Like, I'm going to just give, if it looks sketchy, I'm giving a check. So that's about enough of your time. That was a 10-minute analysis. Literally probably one of the most accurate games I've ever played. 98. Proud of myself. You guys should be proud of me too. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you enjoyed this. If you enjoy my types of videos, please leave a comment if you'd like me to do anything different or whatever. I'm trying to get better at all of it. And please subscribe. I need to make 1,000 of them. 1,000 subscribers would be dope. So, all right. I'm out of here. Thanks. Have a good rest of your day. Boom, boom, boom.